My town still has one of those old school DVD rental stores. Aisles of dusty movies, racks of microwavable popcorn, and bags of fairy floss that have been there so long. They're more like museum pieces. It feels like stepping into a time capsule from the early 2000s. The neon sign out front flickers faintly, barely legible, reading video and more. When it rains, it buzzes loudly, like some forgotten relic trying to scream its relevance back into existence. I've been working there for a few months now. It's quiet. Most days I sit behind the counter, playing games on my phone, or zoning out in the stillness. We don't get much foot traffic, but I don't mind. The lack of customers makes the job easier. The money isn't great, but it's under the table, so no taxes. That alone makes it worth it. Nobody really knows who owns the place, not even me. My manager, an older Italian guy, only works the days I don't. He comes in sometimes to drop off new releases. He carries a black plastic bag full of DVDs in unmarked cases. It seems weird, but he guarantees that's how these businesses operate. If I call in sick or need a day off, he would either come in to cover the shift himself, or the store would just be closed entirely. People here joke that the place is a front for a money laundering operation. I get it. The whole setup feels like it's from another time. Still, we get the occasional regular, usually older folks clinging to their DVD players for weekly movie nights. Sometimes a kid will try and sneak out with a narrated film. My favorite customers are those that are from out of town, people just passing through, wandering the aisles like they're flipping through memories. They never rent or buy anything, but I don't care. When they leave, I go back to doing nothing. There's a door at the back of the store, marked staff only. It's always locked. On my first day, the manager told me not to worry about it, that it wasn't my business, so I didn't ask questions. Everything I needed was behind the counter anyways. But sometimes, especially in the late afternoons, I hear voices behind that door, low murmurs always in Italian, muffled like they were standing just on the other side. Right after my manager usually appears from the door, asking if business is booming. It never is. Honestly, I'm not sure if he even knows how irrelevant DVD stores are nowadays. Streaming killed this place years ago. But then one day, it all changed. It was a miserably slow afternoon. Rain hammering on the roof, lightning flashing every few minutes. The sky was dull and grey, the light barely making it through the thick clouds. I was behind the counter printing out cover art for some of the new releases my manager had dropped off that morning. That's when I heard it, shouting. It was muffled at first, but unmistakable. Then came the screaming. Raw, terrified, panicked, and then pleading, and then a sound that'll haunt me forever. A single, sharp bang. At first I thought it was the storm outside, maybe thunder, but it wasn't. There was no rumble, no crackle of lightning. Just a deafening pop coming from behind the locked door. I stood frozen behind the counter, staring at the staff-only door, waiting for something, anything. The silence dragged on, stretching what felt like hours. then voices again, low like murmurs underwater. I hesitated, but something in me urged me to move. I stepped towards the door. As I got closer, the voices grew clearer. 2 men talking. One of them was my manager. The other I didn't recognize. Deep, calm, and emotionless. I looked down and that's when I saw it. A thin pool of blood creeping from beneath the door, seeping into the old carpet. My heart slammed in my chest. My legs felt like they belonged to someone else. My brain couldn't process what I was seeing, but my ears focused back on the voices from the other side. "Do you think anyone heard that?" I heard my manager ask. "Go check," the other voice replied. As I stared at the door, I realized the doorknob was twisting slowly. The door cracked open, and there he was. My manager's face appeared through the gap. Blank, motionless, blood splattered across his face. I couldn't speak. I couldn't even breathe. Behind him, I saw another man, a tall, dark-haired figure, slicked back hair, standing over a lifeless body on the floor. Blood pooled around it. In my manager's hand gripped a gun. I stared at him. He met my gaze, eyes cold and distant. Then something like regret flickered across his face. Or maybe it was just annoyance. The front door chime echoed through the store. Voices followed. A family, tourists, all laughing, excited. It was customers. My manager flinched, and for a second, I thought maybe they had seen what was happening. But before I could process, I was pulled into the staff-only room. The door slammed shut behind me. I was forced to my knees when I glanced up. I was face to face with the barrel of a pistol. I begged, I pleaded, tears flooded my face. The other man, the one I hadn't seen before, leaned down, his eyes cold and calculating. He told me that he was the owner, that I would live on one condition, that I work 7 days a week, no days off, no excuses, and also that I don't talk to the police, not once. If I miss a day off work, it'll be the last day I will ever breathe. He glanced over to the body on the floor. I nodded, nearly collapsing in fear. I couldn't think straight. I vomited right there. My stomach twisted in knots. They told me to go back into the store, to remove the customers, tell them we're closed. I walked back out there, forcing myself to look normal. I told the customers there was a gas leak, some emergency. I don't even remember what I exactly said, but I got them out. They could tell by my face that something was wrong, but they didn't question it. I locked the door behind them and went back to the counter to puke again. My phone sat next to me. I almost called the police, but that dead body, it was just behind that door. If I called and they found out, I could be next. My manager came out. He wiped the blood off his face and placed a black plastic bag on the counter. More DVDs. He told me to shelve them tomorrow, then paused before leaving. He asked me to hand over my phone, reluctantly and terrified. I handed it over. He told me, "The owner is dead serious." his voice cold. Take him seriously. This is your life now. Then he said something that made me freeze in place. Even if you went to the police, even if you tried, we know where your family lives. We know how to get to them. We know exactly how to hurt them. So don't even think about it. I felt my heart drop into my stomach. Take the rest of the day off, he said, like it was just another day at work. But tomorrow, your promotion to full-time starts. It's been 3 weeks now. I feel like this isn't reality. Just a bad dream. I don't know what to do. I'm writing this message as everything is fresh as it can be in my mind. I don't want to live like this. I don't want this to be my life. But I don't want them to hurt my family. How could they even know anything about my personal life? I don't know, but I don't want to take any risks.